Hi guys, my name is Cassie and this is Talk to CL show. So today we are back again with another section with an incredible guest. His name is Tony and we are going to chit chat with him today. So get ready as you're about to start with this particular section. So hi Tony,
Hi, Cassie.
you're welcome to my YouTube channel.
Yeah, thanks so much, and nice to have me here.
All right.
Yeah,
So first of all, before we begin, kindly tell us a little bit about yourself.
yeah. Okay. Hi everybody watching. Do subscribe to Cassie's channel because it's very informative and it's very good. But yeah. So I am Anthony, and I am living in Germany,
Okay.
and I finished my master's in renewable energy last year, and yeah, basically I can say that. Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, how long have you been in Germany?
Yeah, so I've been in Germany for the past 2.5 years now.
Oh, okay, that is
Yeah.
great. So where were you before you moved to Germany, if we may know?
Yeah. So initially I was in Ghana, or I was working from Ghana after finishing my degree. And yeah, I mean, although I had some few travels around because of work, but I was based in Ghana and I just traveled from Ghana to Germany.
Okay, so was Germany your first, location to travel to from Ghana?
The, the aim was to pursue my master's, and Germany was like the ideal country for that. So I moved straight from Ghana to Germany to pursue my master's. Yeah.
Knowing very well that they have language barrier and you still chose Germany because there are other countries like US or Canada that has the same course that she said you read here.
Mm.
So why didn't you choose that but then you chose Germany?
Yeah, this is an interesting question. So, I mean, for me, I've always had a passion to come live in Europe, and
Okay.
considering the field of study, I felt Germany was the leading country in terms of renewable energy, or the energy transition from um, from the crude or from the oil to the renewables, and that's why I was geared towards coming to Germany, irrespective of the language barrier.
Okay. And I'll take you back. So from
Yeah.
Ghana, is it like you were unemployed in Ghana at first? That's the reason why you wanted to pursue your master's right away,
Mm.
or what was the reason?
Yeah, that's another interesting one. So I think in my case, I was not unemployed. I was working in an oil field, and
Okay.
yeah, for quite a bit of time, like I say, like for 5 years. And yeah, I felt I had to change the direction from the oil field into renewables, and that's why I had to pursue this in Germany. So I was not unemployed; I was working, so I had to just quit the job and to pursue this. It was a kind of tough decision actually, because everyone may go like, yeah, but you're working, probably earning a little bit, okay, you're living good, and why would you want to stop to go pursue masters when mostly is the case that unemployed people, or for some people, have to travel with that mindset. But yeah, that wasn't my case.
I'll still ask you the same question because
Yeah.
there is money in the oil industry in Ghana. So why would you quit
Hmm.
and then travel outside? Because
Yeah.
it's not as if they don't have the same. Wait, do they have the same courses in Ghana in the form of masters?
I'm not too sure about that, but I know they have for the degree, I mean the bachelor's degree for
Okay.
renewable energy in Sunyani, and I'm not sure for masters, but yeah, for bachelor's degree they do have, and well, yeah, back to your first question. I mean, there's no limit when it comes to satisfaction or to money. So I felt I was at a point in my life where I needed to try out new stuff and also get a better, a higher pay. And I felt for the future of the energy transition or the energy market, I felt renewables was the way to look at, and that's why I took the decision.
Okay, you studied in Ghana for your bachelor's, and um, I guess you've schooled here, so you can compare the two for us.
Mm.
So comparing the education system in Ghana and the one here, is there any vast difference between the two?
Yeah, yeah. For me, I have a lot to say about this. So one interesting difference is the practicality of the things we learn here. So
Okay.
I well I studied petroleum engineering in Ghana,
Mm-hmm.
and with that, I remember for sure we did not have a lot of um, hands work, or let me say practical work.
Mm-hmm.
And when I traveled here, the very first semester in the renewable energy curriculum, we had so many lab works,
Okay.
and yeah, you had to do things or fix things on your own. I'm like, okay, this is one big experience I'm lacking. But I was able to catch up because I also had some bit of work experience, so I was not too down on that aspect. But yeah, it's a major thing, and also the mode of studies. It's so over here, it's more about practical steps or what are you doing to help the society. It's not only about theory, because over here again they want you to find an end to a solution for a company, for the
Okay.
country, for the future. Whereas for some courses, I would say, or the level of teaching back home in Ghana, it's mainly about knowing these equations and applying those equations and questions, and it kind of ends there, right?
Yeah.
So that's a very big gap. I feel we have to bridge that gap also.
Okay. And was your program in English or in German?
Yeah, I was purely in English. I was fully in English.
Okay. So take us through the process when you were coming here, or like when you applied to the school. Was it a scholarship based, or it was funded by you, or is tuition free? What was it like for you?
Yeah, so for the program itself over here, it has scholarship. That scholarship suits it. But in my case, I did not apply for the scholarship. Let me say so. I made a self-funding um, situation, and yes, so I had to apply, and I got a school, and I had to block an account or to have some amount of money down to kind of you use it or to take care of yourself for the year, and then you add up for the next year again. So I was self-funding in my
Oh,
situation.
okay.
Yeah,
So can you give us a rundown? Total cost?
yeah. I mean, so so that was about 3 years ago. For sure, it's increased now, but
Yeah.
3 years ago, it was estimatedly about 10,000 euros a year.
Mm-hmm.
But I think now it's around 13,000 euros. I'm not too sure about the figure, but it's definitely changed. I think it changed within that few years. So
So
yeah.
with the funding, in terms someone wants to come into that category of renewable source, how much are they paying if the person is funding themselves by themselves? So
Yeah. So for my university and for that program, it was at then again it was 1,000 euros per semester. Germany, one thing I like about Germany is actually tuition free, but my program was a little bit specialized, and I think that's why um, there was this amount to be paid per semester. But currently, it's around 1,500 per semester, so there's a 500 difference now. And the 10,000 euros I mentioned was mainly by the state. So that's the money you needed to take care of your accommodation, the money you needed to take care of your insurance, on your feeding, and some few basic stuff and housing. Yeah, and um, that was not that, or the tuition, the 1,000 tuition per semester I mentioned was not included in this 10,000 blocked money.
Mhm.
But then not to forget, this money is your money. So every month it's being given to you. Um, Let me say, so they divide that money into 12, and then they give it to you every month. And it depends on how you want to use it. And maybe you can even save from that same money. So yeah.
Okay. So, as a student, were you allowed to work?
Mm, mm. Yeah. So I believe it's the way to live outside. You have to be able to multitask, and in the sense you have to be able to combine your education to working, because you definitely have to find something doing to
Okay.
help you sort out some few bills. So yeah, it was quite easy to match the course curriculum, and to find some job to do. So yeah, I got some work to do at the beginning, which helped a lot.
Okay. With your field, was it like you guys are being given internships was like going to school, or you just have to find your way out when you are there?
Yeah, that's another good question. So I think it's your sole responsibility to find the internship opportunities which are out
Mhm.
there. Um, I have to say that, which are out there. But nonetheless, my faculty, or yeah, my department also had this channel with the old students where they are able to put across some internship opportunities to the
Okay.
students, and they can apply, and it helps grow the community together. So, but then it's the onus lies on you to find the internship opportunities yourself.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
And how was the transition like from being a worker in Ghana to being a student in Germany?
Hmm. Well, that's hmm. Yeah, I have to be honest with you. It's very difficult because you've been out of the classroom for quite some time. In my case, for like 4 to 5 years, and you have this corporate life in you, and all of a sudden you have to switch back to the classroom life,
Mhm.
which it makes it quite it's just a different, and now even the cultural differences, like now you find people all over the world. I mean, you meet them, and um you have to kind of adapt to their cultures, you have to adapt to their way of studies, you have to even
Mhm.
adapt to how they speak, because you have to understand your classmates, or you have to understand the people you're living with to be able to communicate effectively. And it was a big hurdle at the beginning, but I think after a few months, I was able to match with it.
Okay, take us through your life here in Germany when you got here at first. Wait, was it your first place you've ever traveled to?
No.
Okay, so definitely you're not new to this. But
Yeah.
then, how was that feeling like when you got here, knowing that it was one of your, I mean, to you, I would say your best country to choose.
Mhm.
How was the feeling like?
So initially, well, in my case, I traveled to Germany in 2020 during COVID time, but not for study purposes once again.
Okay.
And now coming here for study purposes and then living here for a long time. I think, or I must say, it's not been easy because sometimes you go to places and you feel you're the only African there. Let me just put it that way. Yeah, yeah, and
Okay.
yeah, but because it's an international community also, and we're quite welcoming at some areas, so I feel the beginning is always a struggle to try and settle in a new culture, in a new environment, in a new country is always a struggle. But if you're willing to, if you have the desire to be there, then it would work out. That's how I feel.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how was accommodation like for you when you go here?
Yeah. That's one that's one tricky one too. So um I cannot say for every country, or maybe for Europe, but for Germany actually accommodation is quite a difficult thing.
Okay.
And but we have student accommodations if only if you apply for them on time and you are lucky. Once again, you wouldn't have any accommodation issue. So in my case, I applied for the student apartment, and then I had it, but I did not also get it on time or as to when I was arriving in country. And luckily also I had a few family friends around, so I had to just crash at their end for some few weeks, and then I moved into my student apartment.
Okay.
So in my case, I was a little bit lucky, but most people kind of find accommodation as a struggle, which it is actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the language, are we on it?
Yeah,
Are we
yeah.
perfect? Or we are still learning?
I know many people love this country. Like many people really want to travel to Germany, but the only standing block is the language, many people say, right?
Yeah.
But I feel Germany now is transitioning into they're easing up with the language restriction,
Huh?
and yeah, I feel they are a bit no no they're easing up a bit no, hold on, that's why I said they're easing up, so it's a process. They are not yet
Okay.
there, but there is a process to the
Okay.
language restrictions, because I don't want to go too political about this, but I think they kind of need people to work in the country. And
Okay.
here's the case: these foreigners, not all of them are 100% or are fluent with the language. So how are you going to get your economy moving if you are putting barriers on your language? It's going to be difficult to get skilled personnel into the country. And so they are putting in measures to either lower the level of the language requirement for some of the sectors, like maybe the health sectors, I can say, or maybe eliminate it completely. So, but now let me come to myself. So with the language, when I came, I did not learn the language before coming to this country. So I came, and as part of my study curriculum, I was taking the language courses, but I was
Okay.
taking it at my own pace because I didn't want it to disrupt my studies, since my studies was also in English.
Mhm.
So yeah, I took it slow but sure, and I would say I'm not too bad. I'm not extremely good. So I'm kind of in the middle because I've put a little bit pause on it to focus on other things, but I'll revisit it. Yeah, but then to be honest, the language is quite difficult. It's not as easy as some other languages. I don't
Okay.
want to go there. Yeah, it's quite difficult, but yeah, I mean, it is what it is. That's where we find ourselves, so we have to make it work.
Any culture shock? When
Any cultural shock?
yes.
I'm not sure. Can you just elaborate on that? Like, I don't know.
Okay, maybe in terms of the weather, the people, the food, whatsoever.
Oh. I mean, well, for me, the weather, I'm kind of used to it. I like the weather, yeah.
Oh, Okay.
Yeah, because it's not like my first travel experience, but I love the weather here. Well, I'm comparing it again to some other countries which they are minus 40 and minus 30 and all.
Mm-hmm.
Um, with the food here, I think, the native Germans are just into potatoes, right? But you should also know you can get any kind of food you want at your disposal. Only that is going to be expensive, right? So you can
Yeah.
eat whatever you want actually from wherever you're coming from. Only it's going to be expensive. And um, also cultural wise, hmm, that's a tricky one. That's all. Cultural wise also depends on the state where you find yourself. Some states you could get a little bit of racism in your community. Some
Mm-hmm.
states also you get this diversity, like people welcoming you a lot and want to
Yeah.
talk to you, and some are also kind of just enclosed in their space. They don't want to talk to you. Neither do they want to listen to you. So it depends on your state.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's a big topic. I don't want to go deep into that topic, but yeah, because I have to be a little bit careful with what I say also.
I get it.
Yeah.
Wait, which state are you in?
And also currently I'm in Hamburg.
Okay, that's
Currently
where
I'm
your
in Hamburg.
school is. Oh,
No, 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 no. So my school was in the lower or the Niedersachsen, the lower Saxony. That was in Oldenburg, is in a city called Oldenburg, not too far from Bremen.
okay.
Yeah, and that was where my university is. But Hamburg is, I like Hamburg because of also that kind of work
Mm,
opportunities. Yeah,
Blacks people
also.
living there.
Well, yeah, you find a couple of black people living there, but I'm not in the city because of that actually. So I'm in the city because of work opportunities and work, yeah.
Okay, so how is work search after school so far?
Yeah. So once again, nothing comes easy. You have
Okay.
to try and try and try, and definitely there's gonna be a breakthrough somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, rejections are part of life, and some people are lucky they apply to something once and they get it once. That's
Yeah.
that, but it's not being like an easy or something you get on a silver platter, right?
Okay.
So yeah, I think you have to push, or I pushed, and then something comes up. And when you are given the opportunity, you have to prove yourself. Show why do you think I should pick this guy who doesn't or is coming from a different country or living here over someone who actually lives here? So you need to
Yeah.
prove yourself when you get opportunity because you also struggle to get opportunity, don't get me wrong. So yeah, it's not been easy for the job search, but there are so many jobs out here. Some restricted to the language, a few, and others not too restricted to the language, but yeah, whatever reasons. But yeah, the jobs are there, but sometimes how to find them is also another thing.
And
Yeah.
do you think it's easy for blacks to penetrate into their market, their job search market?
Well, you have to be skilled. You have to be skilled. You have to, as I said, you need to give them the reason why you should be taken, right? For sure, if you are skilled, they would, or you meet or you over meet the criteria, they will have no option to take you, right?
Okay.
But from where most of us we come from, we don't really get the level of this European or outside skills, and that's one challenge. It's like you have to start
Yeah.
from scratch, or you have to adapt quickly to those skills to meet up to the levels.
I
So yeah,
agree
it's
on
dependent
that. And have you faced any challenge so far?
on the jobs regarding to jobs. You
Whether
mean?
the job, whether regarding life here in Germany itself.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I mean, again, I have to be careful, but yeah, challenges everywhere because there comes a point where you have to take some decisions, right?
Mhm.
If taking a decision is challenging, you have to take some decisions if um you would want to continue staying here, you'd want to further further your education here, or you have to finding a job again. There are all challenges and taking the right decisions, planning your time, and then balancing your social life with your academic life is also a challenge. And um, I mean, every day is a challenge, but then we still sail through anyway. So I cannot pinpoint challenges, or I don't want to deep down into some challenges, but basically these are like areas you find challenges day in, day out.
Okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
And have you faced any racism?
Mm. Okay, I saw that coming because on the challenges I saw that coming. But so I remember there was this one time. I think yeah, in the first few months I came here, and I was going for a party. So it was a party I was going
Mm-hmm.
for with my friends. So they were white. So there was one from UK, one from Italy. I don't know. I've forgotten where the other one was from, but they were white. I was the only black person, and um, we got to the entrance of the party room, and they were allowed inside, and the bouncer was like, wait, he said some things. And I was like, yeah, I'm with them. Oh no, they were like, oh, they are with me, so I have to come inside. I was like, no. And we were like, why no? And he was saying some things. Again, it was in the early stages, so I couldn't really understand what he was saying. And so my friends were actually annoyed, and then we left because obviously they cannot enter without me. And
Mm-hmm.
um, I came with them, and they were very disappointed. I was actually disappointed because I didn't know it was to that level. But I think that's I can just mention that's just been one of the racism moments I've had, and it was at the beginning. Aside that, I won't mention because I'm not in those cities or those states
Okay.
where you find it a lot.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
that's okay.
and don't get me wrong, there are different ways of showing racism. It's not maybe going to be too
I
straightforward like
know.
I mentioned. So it can be
Yeah, I know.
different
I
ways,
know.
and sometimes I just close my eyes to that. But then this one was very direct, and then it hit me right there because it was my first time. And so yeah,
I know. I get it. Because I have experienced a lot. So
a lot. I
I think
think, yeah.
recently on Monday I experienced one. I really got pissed, mad
Oh, so
actually.
sorry, so sorry.
Yeah, but I couldn't do anything about it because I just couldn't. We were two black girls, myself and my friend,
Yeah.
and we went to look for a job at that place, and it looks like we were the only blacks. There were a few people there, and then there were a lot of you know this, and mind you, they are not Germans. These people were not Germans. That's the most annoying part of the whole thing.
Yeah, it is.
Now we sat there, and then it looks like we've been sitting there for hours. They don't attend to us. Meanwhile, those people that we even came earlier done, they've come to call all of them, and we were still sitting there. So I got pissed, and I went to the receptionist, and I'm like, "Why are
What's
we
going
still
on?
here?" Because the other people that she was like, "Oh, they will attend to us, and that they are going by the those who booked an appointment." I'm like, most of them didn't book an appointment, so what are you telling me? So I was back and forth with them and was like, I should sit down, they will come for me. And then I knew then that we are not going to get the job. So we're just it was like
Oh,
they came
this
to
is.
call us. But like, okay, they would look to whether we qualify for them to pick us or not. And I'm like, okay. Then I say they call and they'll be like, oh, we are sorry. The people we are recruiting are just a few, so we are sorry we can try again next summer.
Oh no. Oh no. This is very sad. I'm so sorry. I mean, there are so many forms, even during apartment search. Also, sometimes you
Yeah.
go and out of like maybe an early black form. Just forget it. I mean, it happens in so many various forms. I don't want to
Well,
just
I'm used to
use
them,
them.
so nothing
Yeah,
surprises me anymore.
yeah,
I'm
but
used to
it's okay. At the right time, um, you'll find it.
it. Of course, of
I'm so
course.
sorry you have to go through this, but yeah,
Don't worry, I'm used to them. Even though I was
yeah,
pissed at them, but I'm okay now.
yeah.
Oh, so looking at this, you've already worked in an oil industry and now you are in renewables. How do you see the future of Ghana resources in terms of that?
Oh, yeah. So I think the current government in Ghana is trying to look into renewable resources. So I cannot remember the new ministry's name, but it has kind of transition
Mm-hmm.
a green energy. Yeah, it's kind of like a green energy transitions minister or something like that also. And I think they are looking into exploiting some of these renewable resources in Ghana. But I don't know how far they can go with that and
Okay.
how they can maintain it and how they can sustain that energy source. And for Ghana, the two major energy sources we can boast of, or they can boast. I mean, yeah, we can boast of is will be solar energy and the hydropower from the water and from our dams.
Mm-hmm.
But I would be so happy if all these energy crises happening in Africa as a whole, or even Ghana to be specific, they are able to utilize this solar energy because Africa has a very good prospect when it comes to solar energy. With the energy transition in Ghana, I think there's still future for that, and I think the current government is looking into that, and I hope they're able to utilize those sources. It's gonna
And
help
do
and
you,
cut down this energy crisis back home. Sorry, yeah.
okay. And do you think Africa is ready to go into that fully?
Hmm. To be honest, I'm not sure they can go into that fully, as still crude oil becomes their major energy sources. Even in Europe,
Okay.
they still rely on gas, and yeah. So I really don't think it's gonna be like cut down fully. But I think gradually, just like how Europe took the main decision to look into that direction, so gradually Africa could also head towards that direction.
As an African who have traveled outside, comparing the two, you've already compared the education sector for us, but then is it worth it if maybe your child wants to study engineering in Ghana? Or you would want to advise parents to let their kids travel outside to study? Or what would you advise the Ghana system? I'm asking three questions. Three questions as a
Yeah.
group. What would you advise um whether the school system or the government to help in terms of that?
Yeah, so I think hmm, the long-term solution to this would be so for the leaders in the country, Ghana,
Mm-hmm.
they've I believe most of them have their kids schooling outside,
Mm-hmm.
and most of them even have schooled outside. So not just their kids, and they know how different the system is outside in terms of education to back home
Okay.
and the impact it makes. So they should try and help the universities, the schools, the high schools to get some labs, to get some field trips, even to get some practical experience, hands-on experience, so they can understand the theory things they are or we are studying back home. Because
Okay.
back home engineering, you have to be smart with math, engineering maths, and maybe some form of science, physics, whatever, depending on the kind of engineering you're doing. But we always say that, what am I using that math for?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe in the near future I don't need it. The physics I'm learning, what am I using it for? I don't know. Because I mean that's what we say, or that's what I used to tell myself. Because I'm not making anything out of those physics. I'm not seeing what those Bernoulli's equations, all those equations are doing. But
Okay.
if you come here, you pick a topic, you are learning about an equation, and they are showing you, go do this project, make those calculations into this project to bring this artifact out, so
Okay.
that the world would be using this, and then you can produce it on a large scale market with an investor's help or whatsoever, and then you are happy. You know that, oh, my project work is outside there and people are using it. I'm making money, or the investor is also making money out of it, and you're
Yeah.
happy, you are proud of it. But only a few. How many people can boast of doing something from their studies back home? It's only a few. And so I feel only the leaders can help to bridge that practical theory life, so that the students can appreciate what they are learning. They won't just feel, I just have to finish this degree to get my degree, and then I just call it a day and move elsewhere. So yeah, I think we can do some things like that.
Okay. And what advice would you give to the young ones watching you who wants to pursue a career in engineering?
Yeah. So for me, at this point, I always say that, I mean, for me, in my next life, if I have to do engineering again, I would concentrate on three fields or three branches of engineering, which will be computer engineering or computer science. I know there are two different things, but yeah, computer engineering or IT stuff, or mechanical engineering and electrical engineering. These three are like, they're like across every company. Every company needs an IT personnel for some reason now, because the world is
Mm-hmm.
going to the data analysis aspect, and every company for some reason needs an electrical engineer. Every company, not every, but most companies now also, yeah, they need a mechanical engineer. So for my kids, you have to take one of, if you have to do engineering, you have to take one of those engineering fields to pursue.
Wait, are you forcing it on your kids or what?
I'm not forcing it. That's why I was like, if they want to do any kind of engineering, I would
Oh,
present these three
okay.
on them,
Okay.
because
Okay.
I'll give them reasons why I think they should look into
They should
this
do. Okay.
these three engineering fields if they are interested in engineering, obviously. And so in my next life, I would take one of possibly an electrical engineering, because electrical engineering, I could work in any other engineering field.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. And your final encouragement was to people who wants to relocate, who are already here as an international student, and who also wants to be engineer in the future.
Wow, that's three questions again in one. um, I don't even know which one to start with. I don't know, because there are
Start from
three questions
anywhere.
there.
Okay, so encouragement for those who want to relocate.
Yeah. So so I think at this point, people should be aware that relocation is not actually for everybody. You have to be prepared mentally, because you are leaving your comfort zone to go live in another man's land, and you
Mm-hmm.
have to be prepared for all the challenges. You have to have all your backup plans for all the challenges, and yeah, you'll be fine. So you just have to prepare for it. Yeah, for sure. I need to be honest, because
You'll
it's
be
not
fine in
as
what terms?
it's not as good as people see on TV or people hear from news or whatsoever.
But
Surroundings are
we made
nice.
it look like it's so easy here.
Exactly. Surroundings, and that's why I say what people say, because people say, yeah, it's like that, but then if you're actually in the shoes, or you're actually there, you see there's a bit of hassle somewhere.
Mhm.
And so you have to be prepared for that, and you have to be motivated. That's one German word, in the sense that most Germans are into that word motivation. So whatever you're doing, whatever you want to do, wherever you find yourself, you should be motivated to do it. It shouldn't be like someone is forcing you to do it,
Yeah.
or because of some reasons you have to do it. No, but you should have the passion for it. And if you
Okay.
have the motivation and the passion for it, then you will sail through because that's what you want. That's your goal. You want it. So go grab it or you will grab it. And so yeah, if they want to go outside, it's open. Just go through the right channel, the right processes. You can reach out to Kasi, you can reach out to me if engineering base or whatever. You need assistance towards that. I think Kasi has lots of videos on various experiences, various ways to learn the processes of traveling outside in various countries. So you can watch them, and yeah, you can just reach out. And yeah, I think that's for the first question, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. And for me, the international students who are frustrated here.
I mean, so the first question was to make the step to come. Now people are here. Your leg is already here. For me, one thing I learned when I came here as an international person was one, finding the right connections, making, as I said, right connections and underline them in bold. And yeah, if you have the right connections, you get the right information and you get the right assistance.
Okay.
Because for me, along my journey in this country has been through connections and not connections like how we understand it back home, someone
Yeah.
helping you or forcing your way back door to do something, but then knowing someone and the person giving you um
Information.
information ahead of time for you to plan or yeah, for you to try your hands on something. And
Okay.
because I can imagine myself if I had not had a conversation with certain people to get certain information, I won't be able to see myself through. And
Mm-hmm.
it pays a lot to help someone because in as much as you want to help people, people are also out there to help you. It's just a reciprocal something. And yeah, so finding so the international people already here, you're already here, you're going through challenges. Try to meet the right people, try to ask questions, try to yeah, get help in the right way. And I feel or I think you will find people to support you in every way.
Okay. In terms of relationship.
As in meeting people, yeah, or something.
No, the relationship that you know.
Break it
In
down.
terms of
Break it
having
down.
a relationship here in Europe.
Okay, okay. Mm. So wait. I said having a relationship with an European or having as an international
Generalize
community.
in the community, in the black community. Generalize whether European, whoever it is.
Just okay. So whoever it is. Uh, yeah, that's okay. It got me understand because so me for me because I go out a lot. It's kind of surprising sometimes your fellow black person is I'm looking for the word. It's kind of distancing, yeah. Maybe kind of
Okay.
distancing him or herself from you. I sometimes I ask myself like why it doesn't hurt to say hello, hi, or like something like a quick wave at the person. I mean, you don't have to go and just hug the person or sound yourself to the person anyways, but you fill that gap within your own black community person. Whereas also some of these Europeans or some of these foreigners are also like really into black people, kind of. So you also find that some also not at all. You also find that.
Okay.
Um, yeah, but I think in a nutshell, making friends, socializing, being in a relationship outside, yeah, it shouldn't be anything difficult. Again, it depends on where you find yourself, but it should be easygoing. Depends on you, depends on where you find yourself, you know, because sometimes you could be surrounded with very nice people, but you yourself are kind of conservative person.
Yeah.
So it's difficult for people to also approach you or to approach people, or maybe also the other way, you are very open, but you find yourself in a very tight community where people don't want to express themselves. So yeah, but then I think it's pretty okay with in terms of relationship or finding friendships and all.
Okay.
I don't know about you. I don't know if I'm permitted to ask your opinion on this one. You are free to say this, but I don't know.
Okay.
It's a
I
big
think
perspective, yeah.
in terms of relationship here, I think everybody has. Okay, so we've made the relationship looks like everybody has whatever he or she is looking for in the person. For me, I remember when I was living in Ghana, I was like, I'm coming to find myself a white man to get married to give birth to white kids. I love that love. I
Yeah.
mean, I wanted to give birth to like this mixed race kind of kids. But when I got here, my mind, my ideology, and everything changed because of whatever I was looking out for
Mhm.
in them. I don't want to go into details in
Mhm.
that because
Mhm.
this is a
Mhm.
life thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't find them not so like
Mhm.
whatever I'm looking out for. So I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna stick with my black men because I
Mhm.
like them.
Mhm. 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 Mhm.
Yes. However, here I realized most of the black men is either one way or the other. Most of them are single fathers, single.
Mhm.
You don't really get to meet those who do not have any like controversies or anything surrounding their stay
Mhm.
here.
Yeah.
So it makes it's true, but
Yeah.
it makes it hard a bit. And this is not like in Ghana where if you're walking by, someone could just mention, hey, Ohima, hey, bruh.
Mhm. Mhm.
No, here it's hard for people to even approach you.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it's true. It's hard for you. I'm not saying people haven't approached me before, but then on a regular day, if I was in Ghana, I
Yeah.
get a lot of people approaching. But here it's not like that. So
Mhm.
sometimes you join these dating apps just
Mhm.
to see if it will work out, and
Yeah.
that is also another bomb. So,
Mhm. Mhm.
so in
That's
general,
very
it's
true.
actually hard here. I don't know for other people, but I say it to be hard here in Europe. I don't know if it's everywhere. That's like that everywhere in maybe in Canada, in US, in UK, but in Europe here, I find it very hard. I don't know. And the
Uh,
language also being a barrier to is another problem because
yeah.
you meet someone, the person might be interested, but then the person can't speak English, so
Yeah.
it's totally out. So yeah, that's one thing I realized here.
That's very true. But just with the Europe thing, like if you go to places like France, France,
Mm-hmm.
France, it's France, you can get a little bit of kind of vibe there, you know, kind of vibe in the sense that like you get people approaching you a lot.
No,
Yeah, yeah. Okay, well, it depends on where in France.
I went to Paris and
Yeah.
I didn't like them at all. I had a
You didn't
bad
like
experience.
the
I didn't
black
like the
people?
black community there because I mean we were sometimes you approach them and you're asking them a question and then I feel like they
Mm,
are
mm,
even the
mm,
worst more than
mm,
Germans.
mm.
It's true because I feel like okay,
Okay,
I've seen
I mean,
my
yeah.
my black person. I could approach and talk to the person, and the person just goes away like as if you're not talking to them. I felt so bad. I didn't like it at all. I don't know, but my experience there was terrible.
Yeah, I agree to it. But then let's not also forget, like, most people in France are from like the Francophone countries, right?
Yeah,
Which um maybe they also have their style of approaching people or doing their things. But yeah, I mean, for me, the few days I was there, the few places I went to, it wasn't that bad. Um, yeah, again, as I was saying, it depends on who you meet and yourself.
yeah.
But I agree to you with all these things you said. Finding people, yeah, the white people. Sorry to say, but like, is out. I know there's a life thing. That's what I'm a little bit skeptical about. some things I have to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've heard this a lot from most of the black ladies, and they go like, "Ugh, yeah, I came in with a mentality of I'll find it's easier if you're in like you're in US, Canada, I don't know, even for the UK, I doubt. But the white ones, yeah, no. Unless for your own reason, you have your
Yeah.
own reason, yeah, maybe for his money or whatever, and all those things. But
Mm-hmm.
for your happiness, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, it's gonna be difficult. So yeah, but as you also said, with a few black people also, they have things tied to them. That single fathers, all those things. But yeah, it's not. And the dating apps are also a little bit shitty. Yeah, again. But it is what it is. I felt at the right time. It happened. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. So we are ended this section. So I'm just going to, if you have any last words you want to tell anybody watching you can say it, then I'll wrap up. There we go.
yeah. So for me, I just want to tell everybody watching this that I thank Cassie so much for this opportunity to share to the world about some of the experiences living in Germany or studying in Germany. And I'll plead everybody to subscribe to the channel and like it and share to your friends because people are going to be transformed, are going to learn so much. I'm not too sure if you have any session about the application processes, but if you do, then yeah.
I'm trying to look at, okay, I was in one with the other a friend of mine, but
Mm,
and we had an issue at the end of the day. So I'm trying to get people on board to show some people how to actually go step by step process on how to apply these schools and all of that. So I don't know if you'll
yeah.
come on board too. I would be glad to have you on board as
Yeah,
well.
I think for me, of course, I did mine 3 years ago, but then I kind of remember some of the processes, and today I realize some of the processes have changed. But I mean, the basic things still was the same. Going through uni assist and all those stuff are pretty much the same. So yeah, maybe if I have some time, you can put me on that, and I'll see the kind of a submission I can make on that. But yeah, to wrap up, you guys should go for whatever you want, make it happen.
Hmm.
Nothing comes easy.
Yeah.
Engineering, medicine, law, nursing, name it. Business, anything, anything, name it. But you have to put your mind to it, and we keep praying and hoping everything goes well, and yeah, we'll take it from there.
Okay.
Yeah,
So, guys, I'm gonna say thank you to Anthony or Tony for coming on my show. I really appreciate you and thank you for
yeah,
sharing your journey with us. It was such an insightful information and I learned a lot from it. So thank you
a
for coming on
pleasure.
my show. And so guys, if you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do also hit the subscribe button, like this video, and also share it to as many friends as you can so that we can get, I mean, people on board, people who always need this information, and people who do not know this. Okay, so
Yeah.
I will see you in my next video. This is the end of our video and interview.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.